Hey, Matt. Matt, welcome to the show. Great to see you, man.
Yeah, great to see you, Andy. How are you doing?
Great. So, Matt, tell us about Demo. What are the plans? And it's really congratulations on this whole new gig. Tell us about it and what we can expect in September.
Yeah, Demo, we've got some exciting things waiting. We just announced a new feature called Alpha Pitch, which lets younger companies get on stage and present in front of the same class audience that's been there year after year. Basically, it gives them a place on stage that they haven't had before, because before you've had companies that are paying a lot more money for full market offering, and this gives smaller, younger companies a chance to get up there as well.
That's great. So, tell us about what you saw today, and the sort of the venture-backed startup scene here in New York. And it's always been a backwater to Silicon Valley, but what are your take on it?
You know, I thought it was really refreshing. I mean, we have these conferences all the time in Silicon Valley, and it gets a little tiring, frankly, because you have the same people, same lessons talked about. And here, you just got this notion that was a lot more fresh. Some of these lessons were being said, but more freshly. I think we saw some encouraging startups today. We saw Article 1 for crowdsourcing research on patent litigation, Path 1 for jobs, but you get the sense that there's a lot of companies out there that are on the tail end of the cycle that are a little too late. There's still companies that are launching to serve as ad networks, for example, with no clear value proposition that exceeds what's already out there. For example, there was a company that wanted to do ad networks for health sites, and it wasn't very clear what more they were bringing to the table when there's already 20 companies doing the same thing. Right?
Hey, Matt, tell us, briefly, this is like a whole long story about the success of VentureBeat, but, how you got to where you are, sort of briefly, and where it might be going, what your hopes are for VentureBeat.
I'm very humble when it comes to talking about success of VentureBeat, because every day, and you know this, Andy, running your own site, it's a fight because there's a lot of noise out there. So you just have to stay really focused. And what I found incredible fulfillment and meaning in providing articles, reporting that means something to people out there, and I think that's what's fueled its growth. So we continue to grow and continue to focus. As you get more readers, you have to make sure that you are focused and you don't get to a point where you're trying to do everything. So we're going to focus on doing what we do well, which is writing about innovation that's out there, the most exciting innovation in the Valley and beyond, and writing specifically about how that innovation should be applied in people's lives. So business people such as yourselves, tech-savvy people in non-tech companies, how can they use Twitter to get ahead, for example?
Let me ask you one last question. Getting back to the question of Demo. So with all the events and all the conferences, how do you expect Demo to be different? What is its unique value as you see it?
I think Demo has it's a 20-year history of sorting through, vetting through all the companies out there, and we're seeing thousands of companies a year. So Chris Shipley has a great reputation for being a credible vetter of these companies, bringing them on stage with great production values. I mean, you've been there. The internet works, the stage works, the organization works, the media come because they know that they're going to see the best companies there. And so I don't intend to change that. I intend to make sure that we're going to continue to see these great companies, vet the best ones, 50 or so companies, get them on stage so they can present to the market. Now, if you're asking, okay, there's a lot of companies that are launching at places like this. The proposition that we have at Demo is that we're really focused on the product, right? Products that are ready to launch. A lot of these guys weren't ready to launch. Some of them have products that have launched. But what we're talking about is launching to the full market with a big bang.